Endra da ye mampeni John Dramani Mahama friends and children for she muma woman to tone and no bia ma no so the nya no esafata to a pon so send be ya timemu fon so ne che ya adwen so no e betumi enyam entiase. Join news at the publication bi ebeto a pon so Endra da say excavators ahodro efritema port na apn so no anadwobre na wo mo clear excavators na dos ye pa na che ya adwen say anadwobre na wo mo clear excavators dudro sei nti ebeto ya adwen sa ye dudro na de nim say galam say dwumedi ya na wo mo de kwakodia na ye ya adwen say di pa bonfo bi na hye dwumedi ase mampeni wa ba be chirim say entisa excavators na bedruye no edoso ye pa nti na wo say wo mo ehwe edibi epe baby e fine ti mu hu ne sadia ene na nipa bonsem bia enhye dwumedi ase efei osanso kasa edefa galamse dwumedi a ebuso ewo memu o kire kwan a yebefa so etwa galamse dwumedi no eso.
A lot of excavators have arrived at the port, and recently somebody said they were being released at midnight to their owners and things. That's not true. What happens was there were so many that they had occupied a huge area of the port and congested the port. And so we found the land near Shire Hills, near the military installation. And the Field Engineers Regiment and others have been given charge to move the excavators from the port to that area so that they can free up space in the port. And they do that in the night because of traffic in the daytime. So in the night, they have the payloaders moving the excavators out of the port to the designated areas where they are supposed to be held. And before any of those excavators is released, they must be tracked, they must have a tracker on them, they must be registered by the owner of the excavator, and we must know the purpose for which the excavator has been imported. Because the construction industry also imports excavators, and so you cannot put a blanket ban on importation of excavators just because you think that every excavator is going to go into the illegal mining industry. Even the big mining companies that have licenses import excavators. And so we want to know who is importing the excavators, who it is going to. We want to be able to put a tracker on it and be able to trace that excavator.
7MTV.
NPP amanyoko no eba abemu no womo hyase edi dwuma edifa Polugu multipurpose dam no eho womo yeye bia na so womo entumi endi hu dwuma enwie enei omampeni John Dramani Mahama kire se obebo no humodin bia ahwe amadam no otumi ewie hu adwumedi afi wakasa edi afa 24-hour economy no eho omampeni kire se team ewo parliament a womo guso a eye hu entoto enti timemfo munya botre kra se no shebo se odi 24-hour economy eba ama mbebu no dodro na enya adwuma aye no ne hia ene se mbenya hu abotre enche bia edebeba abetuja.
What plans will your government, your excellency, have for my people so that our concerns are addressed? Thank you.
Polugu multipurpose dam, we are rescoping the project. And so currently the contract was awarded to Sino Hydro, but it was supposed to be funded from Government of Ghana sources. Government of Ghana didn't have the money, and so the contract was not executed. And so we are rescoping it. It means we have to do an appraisal of what the costing will be again. And what we intend is to, if possible, finance it under the big push. The last time it was to cost about $900 and something million, almost $1 billion. And $1 billion today is about 11 point something, almost 12. So that would be about 12 billion CDs. This year, the total budget for Big Push was 14 billion. Next year, the total budget is 30 billion. And so we'll see how we can accommodate it in phases, because it has two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Maybe we might not be able to do the two phases immediately, but we can start with phase 1. Which is the electricity production, and then phase 2 is the flood control and irrigation. And so we're rescoping it, and you'll soon hear something about it.
7MTV.
And medium enterprise, modernize agriculture and expand employment opportunities across key sectors. This initiative is not just about keeping the lights on longer, it is about unlocking new shifts of productivity widening access to jobs, and building a resilient, inclusive economy that works for all. Only yesterday, Cabinet approved for onward submission to Parliament the 24-hour authority bill. Already we're seeing key institutions take the lead in actualizing the 24-hour economy vision. The Ghana Publishing Company has transitioned to a full 24-hour operation. The Passport Office and Ghana's foreign missions have also rolled out round-the-clock services to expedite passport processing and improve service delivery. At our ports, both Tema and Takrady are now operating 24 hours to boost trade efficiency and reduce congestion. To guarantee safety within this evolving ecosystem, a dedicated 24-hour economy policing secretariat has been established in the Ministry of Interior to provide continuous security support across the country. These bold steps signal a clear national commitment to building a resilient, inclusive, and job-rich economy. To ensure legal and operational readiness, Cabinet has approved critical amendments to the GIPC Act and the Labour Act, which now include provisions that enable and regulate 24-hour economic activity. These legal reforms will ensure that businesses, investors, and workers alike are supported by a framework that protects rights while encouraging innovation and growth. Complementing this agenda, we have rolled out the Jumara program and the National Apprenticeship program, both of which are expanding pathways to employment, particularly for our young people and artisans. These programs are equipping thousands with the skills, tools, and opportunities they need to succeed in today's job market. Thousands of young Ghanaians are currently undergoing training under the 1 Million Coders program.
Yesi afimu nsɛntwerɛfoɔ ho akyere wɔn yie paa esan sɛ wɔn bɛkɔ sɛ wɔn kɔyɛ live coverage anaasɛ wɔn kɔyɛ reporting wɔn bɛkɔ no na yakɔ akɔsibiri wɔn wobɛkɔ mu bia nso so no na join news nsɛnkyerɛni bi ɛka ho ebia na ɔde bia yɛbro wɔn ni ɛnɛ ɔmampani John Dramani Mahama ɛkyerɛ sɛ bibi saa paa deɛ ɔmfoa so da ɛwɔ sɛ nsɛnkyerɛfoɔ so wɔn nya wɔn ho fa ahodie ɛno nti dwumakuo ahodoɔ a wɔn ɛhwɛ ama nsɛnkyerɛfoɔ dwumadi a wɔn edi no mu ɛbɛkɔ yie no wɔn bɛhwɛ esipi esita ayɛ wɔn dwumadi ni ɛyɛ sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ nsɛnkyerɛfoɔ bra yɛbro wɔn nyinaa na aban so nkwade ɛto ɛbɛtwa afei ɔmampani akasa ɛde afa cases ahodoɔ a ɔba aban mu no wɔn ɛyɛ ho investigations ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ 200 and above a kyerɛ sɛ wɔn gu so a ɛyɛ ho hwehwɛmu ɔkasa ɛde fa kane NSB National Signals Bureau boss kwabena edubuahene ɛho nsɛm a akɔpiem ɛwɔ kɔɔta ɛsɛ ne ho kani kora ɛka ho ebie ɔdɔm so kɔkwan a asɛndibea no wɔn ɛfa so ɛdi asɛm yi
and handle them. And so we'll keep working at it. I mean, definitely, as a member of the GJ, a lifetime member of the GJ, there's no way I'll condone assault of journalists in any form. Diligence, due process, and fairness in the pursuit of justice. Yes, our insistence on doing things the right way may afford those who have looted this country some temporary relief. But let me be clear, it will not grant them permanent escape. Across multiple fronts, active pursuits and prosecutions are well underway under the Operation Recover All the Loot. Over 200 cases are under active investigation, with about 80 people interrogated so far. Several prosecutions have begun, progressing steadily and remaining firmly on course. In the Republic versus Edubuan and 3 others, the state has submitted witness statements together with all other documents, and trial has commenced. And the first of 3 prosecution witnesses have been called and have been cross-examined by counsel for the accused person. With the SkyTrain case, for instance, the prosecutors have secured a trial date, as all preliminary matters have been concluded and the trial is set to commence. For the National Service Authority case, due to its expansive nature, charges have been drafted and will be filed as soon as the legal year begins against the following person: the Republic versus Osei Sibe, the Republic versus Eric Nyaku, the Republic versus Gifty Owari. Also for the National Cathedral, we are awaiting a forensic audit from the Auditor General. Additionally, charges have been drafted and are ready for filing in the case of Republic versus Wuntumi and Akuntamani. The Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, is finalizing its report with respect to Exim Bank transactions. Dockets are in preparation for the buffer stock case and the drip equipment case. Investigations are ongoing into the African Cup of Nations case, the Mart Set case, and approximately 20 other cases currently. Let me be clear, every single case of corruption that needs to be investigated is being looked into. And once evidence is found to ground the prosecution, that will happen and happen swiftly. Looking within, we launched a code of conduct for public officials with an insistence on strict compliance. A high-level working group has been inaugurated to draft a new anti-corruption strategy aimed at strengthening ethical governance and institutional coordination.
7MTV.
Omampani gu so kasa defense central for dwumedie ho ne cases ahodo wo nsaka wo ye ho investigations no otoa so ekasai edifa social media and TikTok ho omampani kire se otumu se nan se threat pa ekoso e social media and TikTok ho ye dia temne ne esanso e the threat e pay so ene omampani e kire se wo be ye ne ye bia asa no apostle be ba be so page amamra no eno wo edenti mma yen hwehwe yi e social media ho.
And so the traditional sense of journalists like you, most of you trained and working in media houses that have a corporate identity and can be held responsible for the information that you put out, is beginning to change. We have a new crop of I'll call them neo-journalists, who anybody with a phone and a camera can report news or comments on national issues. Now the point is, who holds those people responsible? And that's what he's saying. If you go to some of the WhatsApp platforms, or you go to some of the commentaries in the TikToks and others, we have what we call hate speech, incitement to violence. Those are criminal, despite the fact that we have removed the criminal libel laws. There are some laws that make such people accountable. Because if we don't regulate that sector, it can lead this nation to war. There are some of the incendiary statements that have been made in the Boko situation that are fueling some of what is happening there, making people hate each other and see each other as enemies. It's been the same in the Gonja Brefo thing. Some people fanning and inciting violence against each other. This falls in the ambit of the National Signals Bureau. And so the National Signals Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media, because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that? And so we need regulation for that new emerging media. But in the meantime, the National Signals Bureau has been given the full authority to track down people who do that kind of thing.
New vision.
Omampani John Dramani Mahama ne na buying edi 50 million Ghana cedis akoshe Ghana ye national fund mu a ne nyina enam oman ye mpuntu ho a enti na ba na esuku komu susu dia omampani kire se woma ko school a control so school akopim university a woma bo wom ho modern a wom benya wom PhD no afibia emunum ebenya scholarship.
That the intellectual property and findings are often owned abroad. With this fund, we will slowly but certainly reverse that narrative by empowering our own researchers and ensuring that Ghana owns the knowledge and innovations produced by its intellectuals. As part of our commitment to research excellence, we offer full scholarships annually to 5 PhD candidates at every university in Ghana. By investing in our thinkers, we're investing in our future and asserting our intellectual sovereignty.
Vision.
Mejidi so mampeni hyemu a oyeye anye kwa esanse nema dodo na akire timemfo adwenso ene odi hu nkyeremu abreyen ebusua 7MTV network eso ene follow page no e Facebook na subscribe e YouTube esanse nsema hodo a e ko benyina yebekọ so aboabo no e de aba abesomo e tie bidwumede so
7MTV New Vision.